Is New Zealand a sexist country? That's the question that is being posed by a dude named Aaron Niuapu in an article written for stuff.co.nz yesterday. So, is New Zealand a sexist country? No. No, it's not. What, you want me to elaborate? Fuck the things I do for free for you people. Jesus Christ. So there are a few things that legitimately anger me. Being accused of being sexist by the extension simply of the set of genitalia I have and the gender I identify as is definitely one of them. This entire article is some of the most self-loathing, projecting bullshit I have ever seen. Now let me let you people in on a little secret. I really have no fucking love whatsoever for radical third-wave male feminists. Because they are some of the most projecting motherfuckers on the planet. They have these massive, transparent fucking guilt complexes that they try and push on the rest of us and act as if we're all carrying some form of burden by extension of being male. And it's not more clear in this guy's case than if you just read his article. I'll link it in my description. Obviously I was going to link it in the first place because I don't want it to seem like I'm pulling shit out of my ass and just making something up to vent at, but still. The general gist of Aaron's article is that we live in a sexist country. The opening caption of his article reads, "Kiwi men need to shut up and listen to the counter-narratives of Kiwi women. We need to challenge the bloke stereotype and hold each other in check." Kiwi men need to shut up and listen. Okay, I think that's generally what Kiwi men tend to be doing more often than not. Because whenever Kiwi men try and offer a counterpoint to this kind of tripe, the word misogynist is thrown at us, and we're told to sit down and shut the fuck up and get to the back of the line. So this article starts out brilliantly, after that wonderful little caption. You see, we already enter obnoxious Tumblr buzzword territory and you don't even get past the first paragraph. The last two words of the first paragraph are the words patriarchal misogyny. As in, let's not water down the issue. New Zealand society is embedded with patriarchal misogyny. Great. Anyway, Aaron continues on to dribble that we claim to be a fair and equal country when it comes to the well-being of women. We are. And that it's bullshit. We are a sexist country. And that we are trying to use the fact we were the first country to give women the right to vote as a crutch to ignore all these issues. Which again is bullshit. That, Aaron, is bullshit. Not the fact that us giving women the right to vote is a good thing is bullshit. Your statement is bullshit, but I shall continue. Anyway, Aaron goes on to say that this week's alleged sexual assault, note that word alleged, sexual assault of a woman at the Chiefs' end-of-season celebrations highlights a tragic facet of Kiwiana that most of us choose to ignore or diminish. Margaret Comer, an executive for Gallagher, a corporate sponsor of the Super Rugby franchise, blamed the woman for the situation, although she has since apologised. Ironically, Comer is a trustee on the board of the Waikato Women's Refuge. So, because a woman is saying that perhaps this stripper did something or whatever, that's somehow a male sexist problem? Given that so far Aaron has said that men need to sit down and shut up, claiming that this is somehow embedded in New Zealand culture and this is part of bloke culture, when this is a woman making excuses for the rugby team. Okay then, dude, whatever. The truth is New Zealand's social norms are geared to the detriment of women's lives. Bullshit. We are a misogynistic nation. There's that wonderful word you don't know the meaning of again. Even when cases of rape and assault are taken through the justice system, which is extremely clinical and cold, the women are left with a whole lot of trauma and no justice. Well, goddamn, motherfucker, that sounds like that could be the New Zealand justice system as a whole then, couldn't it? I've been through this before several times on this channel. The New Zealand justice system benefits nothing and no one. The New Zealand justice system is one of the softest fucking things I have ever seen. Pick a crime, any crime, and you are basically given the equivalent to a slap on the wrist with a wet bus ticket and told, naughty, naughty, don't do that again, shoved in our fucking revolving door prison system if it even gets that far. Failing that, you're going to be chucked in home detention with an easily cut ankle bracelet. And, as I say, basically told, don't do it again, naughty, naughty, naughty. You can say that's somehow the case just with sexual assault, but it's not. It's with everything in this country. And where's this thing about New Zealand's social norms are geared to the detriment of women's lives? Anyway, I'll get to that point further, but I'll read the rest of this idiotic drivel. Anyway, let's face it, our social institutions offer no justice, blah blah blah, and our Kiwi culture perpetuates harm on a grand scale. Remember the Roastbusters case? A bunch of young men posting videos online of themselves boasting about having sex with drunk underage girls. Oh yeah, the Roastbusters case, right, that case. The one with Anthony Ray Parker's son and his little dickhead of a friend, that one. Yeah, I remember that case. That's the one where damn near everybody condemned those two little pieces of shit, and to this day, uttering the names Bariah Hales and Joseph Parker, not to be confused with the boxer of the same name, is met with vitriol and condemnation of those two little shits and their actions. Nobody defended those kids. Not a single fucking person made a defense for those kids. You bring up the Roastbusters, and I guarantee you, absolutely nobody will defend those two little motherfuckers. The only upside to that for those two little motherfuckers is the fact that, again, the New Zealand's soft, S-A-W-F-T motherfucking justice system didn't even bring them to trial and drop the case due to a lack of evidence. Failing that, nobody high-fived these little clowns. Nobody was throwing fives their way. Once this whole Roastbusters thing got out, these two little cocksuckers' names were mud. They got found on social media and they've gone into hiding. Nobody's heard from Joseph Parker or Bariah Hales since everybody wanted their heads on fucking pikes. That's a stupid example to use. Anyway, I'll skip the next paragraph since I'm not familiar with this next case. Some may say misogyny, like racism, is personal. Only a minority of people behave with a patriarchal complex. Again, this is bullshit. When women when women receive lower wages than men for the same jobs, is that personal or systematic? When trans women are sexually assaulted by prison guards, is that something we should ignore? When our domestic violence stats are the highest in the world, should we dismiss this atrocious fact? It is when people are trying to fucking half-truth their way to claiming New Zealand's patriarchy. First off, the wage gap thing. This one's really gonna win me some friends. The wage gap's bullshit, sunshine. Go online, run a search of the wage gap. Hell, look up Christina Hoff-Sommers. Shit, I'll do you one better and link a couple of her videos in my description. The wage gap's a load of fucking crap. Women do not get paid less than men, they earn less than men. Statistically, on average, women take lower paying jobs. When women go to university, more women take gender studies classes, and other classes that will come out with a qualification to a lower paying job such as hairdressing, nursing, etc. than men who take STEM field jobs which pay higher. And if you think that someone like a receptionist should be paid the same as the doctor, you need your fucking head read. But I put to you, yes, there's a gap, but it's wages earned. It is a number of things. Hours worked, maternity leave, etc, etc, etc. If there is a wage gap, it's not an intentional wage gap. It's based, again, on things such as experience and level of work. Because here's the thing, deliberately paying people lower than others based on gender is discrimination. And you want to know something cool, Aaron? It's illegal. It's extremely fucking illegal, in fact. That is some small claims tribunal shit. People can get taken to court for that. It's illegal, man. Seriously. At least if you're going to quote things and claim the examples of supposed patriarchy, at least use things that haven't been debunked and aren't readily available for debunking with statistical evidence and actual factual evidence further on the internet. As far as trans women being sexually assaulted, no, that's not cool, but that's not something that happens on a regular basis. It could happen to trans men too. We don't know, because there haven't been any reported cases. Just because it hasn't been reported doesn't mean it does not happen. And the bit about domestic violence stats, which domestic violence are we talking about? Are we talking domestic stats men on woman? Are we talking woman on woman? Are we talking men on men? Are we talking adult on child? Which are we talking? Because yes, New Zealand has disgustingly high domestic abuse stats. But here's the double-edged sword of this alleged patriarchy you people claim exists. The mentality in society is men can't come forward and say they're being domestically abused because there's that stigma attached to it. You even see it in comment sections on social media. When men speak about being abused by their partners, they are laughed at, they are made fun of, they are mocked. That's why men often don't report this shit, because it's not considered kosher within Kiwi culture. If you're saying that's one of the things we need to change in this alleged bloke culture, I fucking agree. Dudes should not be scared to say, hey, I've been sexually assaulted, I've been physically assaulted, but they are, because we're taught that real men do not get beaten up by women. It's a fucking defective mentality. I'm not saying that male on female violence doesn't happen, that's the talk of a stupid person, but it happens. Excuse me, it happens the other way around. You can't say it's all one-way traffic because that's intellectually dishonest and unfair. Domestic violence in general is disgusting in this country, and it's not just male on female. Anyway, Aaron goes on to really Tumblerize the fuck out of his next paragraph. As a cis male, I can never talk in the space of women's rights without inadvertently exercising my male privilege. I can never speak on behalf of or for women, and this article is not trying to mansplain Kiwi misogyny. This is an observation of how patriarchal acts of violence towards women don't just appear out of thin air, rather they are conditioned norms that are created and perpetuated by male dominance. Fuck off, you utter horse's ass. First off, as a cis male, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? Honestly, dick. You're saying you can't say it without exercising your male privilege. Yeah, male privilege, which doesn't actually exist. I can never speak on behalf of women, and this is not trying to mansplain. I fucking hate that term, mansplain. What that little fucking magical buzzword there does is strips a male's right to stick up for himself or explain things. You see, the term mansplain, for those of you that don't know, originates from fucking Tumblr or one of these little fucking things where these stupid buzzwords are prominent. And what the term means is basically you are talking down to people as a man. You are essentially invalidating a woman's opinion by explaining things as a man. However, 9 times out of 10 when it's used, it's being used in the category of someone is saying something like this ridiculous article, and you are not allowed to counterpoint it because you are mansplaining. You are eliminating a woman's right to speak up. Which in reality, it isn't. Things like this aren't speaking up on behalf of a woman. They're making up bullshit and trying to make villains out of men who haven't done anything. And then this clown shoe has the audacity to say that he doesn't have the right to speak on behalf of or for women, yet tries to speak on behalf of and for men. Who the fuck do you think you are, Aaron? You don't speak for me. You don't speak for all the men out there that have never laid their hands on women. You don't speak for men that never sexually assault women. You don't speak for men that have worked their asses off to get to where the fuck they are, you arrogant piece of shit. You talk about this male fucking privilege, and this is something that really, really angers me. This alleged male privilege. Now, I'm aware the original meaning of male privilege isn't the same as the meaning as it's taken on now. The meaning that male privilege has taken on now is the meaning in the sense that if you're a male, you basically get an easy trip through life just by extension of being male. That's a load of fucking shit, sunshine. I have worked for everything I have had. I have moved fucking 4 times in the last year because I was basically made homeless due to a mix-up with a contract. I'm not going into the details, but my friends know the fucking story about that. I am fighting and clawing my way into fucking a decent paying job, but as it is, I'm making barely above fucking minimum wage stacking fruit for a living. I'm studying for my bachelor's degree of IT. I am fighting, I am clawing. All the shit you see in this room is stuff I paid for, working my fucking ass off for it. I haven't gotten a free pass to jack shit. This paragraph coupled with this article just makes me mad because it smacks of some jumped up little tosser who sat in the back of a fucking hell. There's one thing I can't do is speak properly. Some little tosser that stood in the back of a fucking gender studies class and then realised, oh fuck, this is talking about things I've done, and then decided, hey, this must be all men too and I speak on behalf of other men. No, you don't. I don't identify with these Chiefs players that sexually assaulted a stripper. Okay, not gonna lie, I was a little bit gropey when I was fucking younger. It's not something I'm proud of, but it's something I've grown out of. And I do my damnedest to have my utmost respect for people, be they man, woman, or child. In fact, I generally, 9 times out of 10, will give you my respect until you do something to convince me you don't deserve it. Articles like this convince me that this Aaron dude doesn't deserve my respect because he's just your typical Tumblr-educated, third-wave, radical male feminist who thinks that they are entitled to speak for the rest of us. So anyway, douchebag, I will continue with the rest of your dribble. Kiwi men need to shut up and listen to the counter-narratives of Kiwi women. We do. We're just not allowed to counterpoint those or it's mansplaining. We need to challenge the Kiwi bloke stereotype and we need to hold each other in check. If we're talking the caveman jock stereotype, I agree. But that's a very small percentage of the male population. And don't fucking dare counter that with that sarcastic, obnoxious, not all men thing. Because people use that not all men thing in the same conditioning as a no true Scotsman fallacy. Or they try and imply it's the same as no true Scotsman fallacy when it's not. The no true Scotsman is goalpost shifting. Not all men is an accurate statement because, as I say, not all men go around groping fucking strippers or whatever. There is no fucking... It is not normal to be brought up to view women as sex objects. So, fuck you. We do need to challenge the boneheaded cave bloke stereotype. But it's not something that all men have. It's not something all men adhere to. And you can say, hello Elsie, you're doing that not all men thing. Yeah, because it's a factually accurate fucking statement. It isn't all men. If being able to play sports well and chug back on a box of beers and making sexist remarks is at the threshold for role model, then it's no wonder we have a problem with sexism. I'm pretty sure the only thing that guys are taught is to fucking play sports well. The reason people look up to All Blacks is because in this country, the All Blacks are the fucking standard bearer. Rugby players are the standard bearer for excellence in New Zealand because our rugby team has been consistently excellent. The All Blacks in themselves have been the best in the world almost unchallenged for years and years and years, and that is why the All Blacks are treated as such role models, because who doesn't want their children to grow up and be the epitome of success? No one's saying, hey kids, it's cool to go out, get fucking sloshed and molest women. That's stupid fucking bloke behaviour encouraged by other stupid blokes. It is not something people are fucking raised with. I agree that if your mate is doing that, you need to tell your mate to pull his fucking head in. But as it stands, we as men as a whole are not all guilty of this, as I keep fucking saying. Let's change Kiwi culture. More importantly, Kiwi men need to dialogue about how we can contribute to dismantling misogyny in Aotearoa, New Zealand. You keep using misogyny in the same sense as being a gropey, creepy bloke. These guys don't hate women. I think they like women, I just think they like women a bit too inappropriately and a bit too much. It's funny because when me and several other people took issue to this article on Facebook, as fucking you would, people kept throwing the term misogyny out because we challenged this article. Misogyny does not mean disagreeing with anything thrown out by someone who identifies as a feminist. Misogyny means hating women. Clearly I don't hate fucking women, otherwise I wouldn't be able to coexist peacefully in an environment with women. Fucking hell. Anyway, let's change Kiwi culture, let's tear down patriarchy, let's acknowledge that male Zealand exists and needs to go. So define male Zealand, doofus. This article basically implies, in the sense that patriarchy implies that women are powerless and men hold all the power, which is bullshit. Let's look at the things. Politics. A lot of women MPs. A hell of a lot of women MPs. In fact, we had Jenny Shipley and Helen Clark as Prime Minister from about 96 to 2008, when John Key took over. And where did Helen Clark go after that? Helen Clark went to the United Nations, where she's now competing for the top job. And if New Zealand was this patriarchal society, do you really think that New Zealand would be supporting Helen? Pretty much everyone that fucking I know of that knows of Helen Clark running for the fucking top UN job wants her to get that top job. We are supporting her because she's a fucking New Zealander. Sports stars, it's the same thing. Female heroes are treated with just the same respect as the New Zealand fucking male sports celebrities. Look at the Silver Ferns in netball. They don't have the same success as the All Blacks, but they're treated as the goal for young ladies to reach to. And if not them, Valerie Adams. We have the ladies on our rowing team who are treated with just the same respect as the men on the New Zealand rowing team. As far as Valerie Adams go, you American viewers might be familiar with Valerie's brother Steven Adams, who plays for the Oklahoma City Thunder. See, the thing is, over here, you would think, oh, okay, well, fucking, since we know of Steven Adams, this Valerie chick must be kind of like, oh, it's Steven Adams' sister, right? No. Whenever Steven Adams is generally brought up, it's not in the sense of Valerie Adams' successful Steven Adams' sister, it's Steven Adams is Valerie Adams' brother. And the fact is, Steven, really not speaking properly tonight, Steven is considered to be fucking in Valerie's shadow. I know these seem like lame examples, but fuck it, I'm talking off the top of my head. My point is, females are treated with respect. Females get worshipped as heroes in New Zealand as much as the men do. You can claim New Zealand is a patriarchal society, but that's bullshit. We both have fucking hardships. Male, female, whatever. You know, transgender, homosexual, whatever. Pick a group, pick a subgroup. Each and every single one has its own problems and challenges. Along with that, each group has certain behaviours that need to be challenged and changed. It's not a one-way street. It's not, let's fucking line all the men up in New Zealand and kick the shit out of them for being fucking cis-het male patriarchal shitlords. It's a case of we should work together and change undesirable behaviours in any fucking group. This article is one of the most arrogant, down-talking, buzzword-laden, ignorant fucking things I have read in recent memory. If I haven't done a very good job of explaining it, fucking my bad. We all know I'm not the most articulate dude. But my point is, fucking, this guy's claiming we live in a patriarchal society, and that's a load of shit. New Zealand is not a sexist country by any means. If you think New Zealand's too sexist for you, go hang out somewhere like fucking, I don't know, India, Pakistan, fucking Bangladesh, Afghanistan, Iran, Iraq, Saudi Arabia. Pick one. And I guarantee you will come running back to New Zealand with a fucking refreshed love of this beautiful land of ours. Things like this wouldn't disgust me as much if they weren't so goddamn factually inaccurate and finger-pointy. It's generally the point I'm trying to make. Anyway, thanks for sitting with me through this boring snooze fest. I know I've ranted a lot, but this article really pissed me off and I felt like I had to say something. I'm the Sky Atoller. Peace out, motherfuckers. Till next time.